guess how do you kind of change the mood to these last 10 games to kind of still get on track?
Well, I mean, for one, the good thing is it feels like it's in our hands. You know, we're playing a lot of teams that are in the mix, and so it's kind of up to us. It gives us a lot of control, which is great. But I think number one is to take care of business at home. That's a huge one. So a massive game looming when it comes to that. But you know, frustration and jubilation and all those emotions you feel throughout the year, we just got to kind of put that aside and go back to the bread and butter, which is just working hard here on a daily basis, because ultimately that's the only thing that's going to get you results. So I think we've been able to put in a good shift so far, and there's still a couple of days left, and we need to keep going.
You mentioned the frustration there. When you go back and watch what happened in Atlanta, what did you see there on that final banger?
Yeah, I think we for my liking, you know, we've unfortunately we haven't been able to grind out a result, and by that I mean maybe even a tie on the road. So maybe we got a little greedy and got excited. We felt like we were the more likely team to find one, and we're taking things a bit quick, and we're excited to see whether we could find another goal. And maybe that's with the way the season has gone, we maybe become a bit more conservative and set ourselves up to be strong in the back and take that point and gain all the confidence that might give you to finally break that, not bend but not break defensively, and take something away from a road game. Because you know it's a silly thing to say, but we've wasted a lot of energy going on road trips and never bringing anything back. I mean, you could literally stay at home, go on vacation or train here, and we would have the same amount of points. So that's the frustrating part, and I think there was an opportunity to change that a little bit, even if it's just a meager point. And so something we have to learn from on that one, I think, a little.
You know, the season seems to have been, at least recently, has been sort of defined by these one-goal losses. It's not like you guys are getting blown out. It's not like you're blowing other people out. But historically, this team has managed to get a lot of those results. Those, you know, find that extra goal and get out with a point. Is there anything that you've actually sensed that feels different as far as your ability to get those points?
Yeah, I mean it's difficult because I can only speak from a defensive mind, because I rarely get to join in on the attack. But I think on a defense, when you know that the margins are very slim, it puts an enormous amount of pressure on you. And unfortunately, we've not been up to that challenge to bend but not break when it comes to those challenges. It would be really nice if we had 3-goal cushions, or we're averaging 2 goals, because then you are capable of maybe, you know, absorbing an individual mistake and still come out on top. So the margins have been very slim, and we as a defensive unit, as a team, we need to find ways to, you know, to cope with those margins and still be able to come out on top.
You guys, you know, Garth was just talking about, I mean, you can't call it an unsuccessful season considering the fact of winning the CCL championship, but, you know, being outside of the playoff picture right now and looking like a long road to even get back to where you guys normally get as far as the MLS Cup, how would you feel? I mean, would it be a torn season for you if you guys didn't achieve the standard that you've set for yourself?
I think we'll assess how the season ended after the season's over, right? I mean, at this point right now, we're here to play, to do something in the league, and make it into the playoffs. I think that is a goal, that is a standard that is mighty high. And then, look, I mean, we've made early exits in playoffs before, but we've also made really late entrances into playoffs before. I feel like playoffs is anything can happen, especially if you find your confidence going into that tournament. But I mean, we won a Champions League. Like, this is our region's equivalent to the UEFA Champions League. I don't know. I think we'll judge our season when it's said and done. But if that doesn't count for something, then I don't know. I think it's a massive achievement. We want more, but that's a massive achievement.
There wasn't a move made in the transfer window, and Garth was talking about the importance of keeping the group together. As one of the veterans leaders on this team, how important is it for you guys to have the same people inside that locker room here for this next stretch?
No, I think it's given us the chance to be successful. That continuity, you never want to. I mean, sometimes it works, but it's very difficult if you really switch out your core or a lot of guys at the same time. So, you might lose a very vital person here and there, and you bring in a little bit of fresh blood, new blood. But the guys who've been there for a while can kind of absorb those new guys into the team quickly, and it's easier that way. It gets a bit more difficult when you have to make a huge jump and a huge transition, and I think that's what we've done well here. That continuity spans through. I mean, I've been here for 9 years now, and we've had players go or retire, obviously, but we've always had a solid core, I feel like, and so that's allowed us to get an identity, not just as an organization, but I think as a team and the players, of what we expect our players to do on and off the field.
How do you define that? How do you define that identity? Right there, you said.
I think fight till the very end on the field. Never give up. Work hard. Work for each other. I think right now it's speaking of those things, I think we're working really hard. At times we're working a bit reactive. I want us to be working a bit more proactive. But with that being said, we're putting in a lot of energy, and I think that is one of our characteristics of this squad. I think off the field, I haven't really met anybody that doesn't like being here. I think we cherish the fact that we're here, and we've supported extremely well. We want to give back to the community. We want to be a part of the community of Seattle. And I think that's why you see a lot of players that leave are sad that they leave, and some of them come back for a second stint or even a third stint because they cherish their time here, and they enjoyed it. They enjoyed their time with the team and with the teammates, but also I think in the greater Seattle area. So I think those are qualities that players quickly learn, that's sort of how we operate, and it's easy for new additions to fall into that.
Last one, guys.
You've had your struggles defensively, but a player that looks to have really improved is Javier. Can you talk a little bit about, kind of pluck his season out and how he's developed?
Yeah, it's difficult because I find he's gotten better in things that I struggle with a lot too, which is that as a defender, as a goalkeeper, how much risk is too much risk, and I think he's found a better answer for that this year than he has in the past. We also are, I think we've gotten better in set pieces, and that sometimes falls on guys kind of taking a bit of a leadership. Towards the end of last year, we were leaking, I think, set pieces left and right, and in this year we've done decent, I think, defensively on set pieces. So he's taken a step on that in the right direction. But overall, it's also he's been here for a while now, so it's kind of time to take a bit more control and not float on the side, and be a new addition. You're not a new addition anymore. You're kind of getting absorbed into that backbone, and when that happens, you have to take a little bit more into your shoulders, and that's what he's done.